Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Adnan 18 The Clutch, and I'm going to talk about some betting odds for tonight's primetime matchups between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, following with the Golden State Warriors versus Sacramento Kings. And all this data that I'm presenting you guys with is brought to you by BetMGM. And just a disclaimer, for these kind of videos, these are just my opinion based on the numbers that I'm given and using recent context, like how certain teams played the previous game or what the momentum is and what are their, if there's like any like issues going on, like whether within the team or potential injury concerns or whatever the case may be. These are all, once again, just my opinion based on context and the numbers I'm presented with. I can be wrong, but I'm just giving all my viewers just a second opinion and just giving them some help just so they can feel a little more sure when it comes to their bets, and just so that have a little fun with it. That's all, because at the end of the day, all this channel is just for pure entertainment purposes, and just to give my viewers just something to look around, just for a second opinion. So with that, the first matchup is going to be my Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics, and right now the Celtics are the favorites to win, and it is by a huge margin, as they are the 9.5 favorites, but the spread is 8.5, meaning for the Celtics bettors to win their bet, they need to win by, in this case, by greater than 9 points or 10. But if the Heat either straight up win the game or they only lose by less than 9 points, then the Heat bettors win in this case. So, and some additional data that was presented with was the Celtics have entering this game a 78.4% chance to win, and the Heat are 0-1 against the spread this upcoming season, talking about the game against the Pistons, which I'll get to in a little bit, and the Celtics are 0-0. So, and with that, speaking of the Heat and the Pistons, the Heat, they were doing really good. I was there at that game. It was a really awesome experience. And the Heat, they were dominating for the most part. At one point, they had a 19-point lead. But what baffled my mind was the fact that what ended up happening was that the Pistons ended up slowly but surely came back, and they started making really good plays. And they were like showing more energy, more hustle as the game progressed. And it took till a last-second shot on the Pistons to see, whether they can win or not, because they were really that close. Thank God they missed. But the Miami Heat, if they have championship aspirations, and they're talking about all this, they have great depth, they have amazing roster and Heat culture and everything like that. How can you barely beat a rebuilding Detroit Pistons team, or at least let your big lead choke away just like that? And now immediately afterward, you're facing off arguably your biggest rival right now in the Eastern Conference, in the Celtics, who are, by the way, they're extremely hungry right now, and they want revenge, especially after what happened in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's like, that's not necessarily a good look for them. So, and I'm a Heat fan, but I mean, this is just me being completely unbiased here. Like, had the Heat took care of business, like put away the Pistons, and then they would have kept like around the 15-point lead from Wednesday night, then I would have felt a little more confident in the Heat. But because they barely escaped a win with the Pistons, who are once again rebuilding, they have a new coach and a lot of young guys, that's a major sign of like of concern right there. And the Celtics, they did beat the Knicks, but and they did have an off night shooting wise, but the difference is the Knicks, they were in the playoffs last year, and they have done really well, especially led by Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett, and Quentin Grimes. Those guys are serious players, like right now at this time. And so I can see maybe that and also not to mention that Tom Thibodeau, the coach for the Knicks, he's also a defensive-minded coach. So it wouldn't surprise me that the Celtics had an off night shooting-wise. So for that kind of context, that's why I give the Celtics sort of a pass in this situation, because of the competition they had and the type of coach they were facing up against on that night. So that's why if I'm going to be betting on this game, I would bet the Celtics just for those reasons alone. And the Miami Heat, like I said, they barely beat the Pistons, so that therefore they're 0-1 against the spread. Meanwhile, the Celtics are 0-0. So we'll see what happens tonight. Now, the second game I want to talk about is the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors, where the Kings are 2.5 favorites to win against the Warriors, but the spread is at 3.5, meaning the Kings need to win by greater than 4 points. So the bettors for the Kings win the bet, or if the Warriors only lose by 3 points or less, or straight up win the game, then Golden State bettors win their bet. And I want to say that in this situation, based on what we saw, like, yes, the Warriors, they did beat Phoenix, but the thing is that Golden State, they are showing their age. Klay Thompson, he hasn't performed as well so far this season. I know it's just one game, but like, age is a main concern for the Warriors between Klay Thompson, once again, that I mentioned, and Draymond Green, and they got Chris Paul, not to mention, and they basically went with keeping their core, which is the right move, but at the expense of getting rid of their young guys. And as the season progresses, they could get more exposed, especially with the new load management rules. So with that, that's one reason why I would pick the Kings in this situation. And not only that, but also the Kings, once again, they are starting to develop a rivalry with the Warriors. Like I said, development, because it's not really a rivalry if one side is dominating the other. But the Kings, they are young, and they are very upset, obviously, for that Game 7 loss in the playoffs against the Warriors. So they're going to want that revenge, and they're extremely young and a very quick team led by De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. And so with that, that's why I believe that the Sacramento Kings, because of that extra motivation that they have from a few months ago, I believe that they'll win this game. And not only that, but also like the Warriors, they are 0-1 against the spread. So like that for the bettors, I mean, they didn't do well last time, and the Kings are 1-0. So with that, the Kings have the better chance to win the game overall, and because of their youth and their hunger to defeat the Warriors, to get that revenge, so they can carry that momentum, especially coming up this season, to do better once again, to go back to the playoffs and prove themselves. That's why I believe for this particular game, the Sacramento Kings will win. Once again, this is all just my opinion, just using the numbers and the data and using some recent analysis. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who do you guys have to bet? Who do you guys like and why? I certainly love to hear you guys out, and we can certainly discuss things. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I certainly appreciate each and every single one of y'all. God bless, and talk soon.